All right. Welcome. This is my second guest
Hi.
on the Tapped In Conversations
Happy-
podcast, and I'm so delighted to welcome Sunita, who I is a new friend of mine who I met this year on Threads of all places. And I have to say, Sunita, I don't know if you remember this, but actually our connection emerged as a result of a comment that I had made a thread about astrology, I think, and then it just ensued all of these different comments from people that were pretty aggressive. And you kind of came in with this energy and this force and really helped me out, really helped kind of provide this like backbone. You kind of just really cut cut to the clarity of the moment. And I think as I've seen you share on threads, I can really see that that's like a superpower of yours. And then recently you shared something about human design that felt really resonant for me in terms of, my personal life because I'm a 2/4 profile. And I don't know much about human design. That's where you're an expert. But something about the way in which you spoke to it just like really dialed something in for me. And you said that you have that impact on people, that you have that effect of just really honing in on the thing that maybe people have heard many times before, but the way in which you deliver it is like the way that people need to receive it, right?
Yes,
Yeah. So
I
why
will shoot you to the eyes. Shoot someone between the eyes. That's what I do.
it's such a cool gift. So would you just introduce a little bit about yourself, what it is that you do, and what your gifts are? Like,
Yeah, happy to be here. Love threads for that. The threads I've found on threads are like I've met them in person. It's great. It's
awesome.
great. Yeah, so my name is Sunita. My background is very varied. Scorpio rising. I've reinvented myself 10,000 times. My background's in mathematical engineering, business, corporate America, and marketing. Then became an entrepreneur 14 years ago, and I've done a variety of things as an entrepreneur. I ran a marketing agency. I was the inventor of a gut health product, Virgo 10th house sun.
Yeah, I was going to
Okay.
say Virgo. Yeah.
CEO of a digestive enzyme and prebiotic probiotic company, you think?
Right.
Um, and then when my progressed moon went into the 12th, I became a little bit more of the health is like a more holistic, spiritual. And I became a spiritualist. And so that was about a decade ago. And I've been, obsessed with astrology. I formally trained in astrology. And then I fell into human design about 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago. Ignored it. Thought it was dumb and was like a Ponzi scheme. And then it took a hold of me and I started applying it to business. And you mentioned you're a 2/4. I'm a 5/1, which is a problem solver. And I
Yeah.
bring visionary solutions that humans are not using right now, but it's going to like the better wrench. Okay, we're using this wrench. What's the better wrench?
Right. Right.
But it's also the wrench that people don't want to talk about and they get angry. So I'm a heretic. I'm a heretical problem solver. So I was like, wow, I can get right into it with people with human design in a way that I can solve their business in an hour.
Wow.
Not everything. I can't, I'm not a magician, but I people are wasting their time out here and not putting anyone down with coaches and guides and business coaches, and they're spending money and they're spinning their wheels and they're getting more influence and okay, they're losing confidence in themselves.
Yeah.
And that's why I stepped in with you.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that you're naming something so powerful there because I felt like I had put something out there and I knew the language what after I had posted it was not it was a little bit maybe judgy or something like that and obviously wasn't going to be received well. I can't even remember what the post was, but all is to say the confidence piece. It was like I just got crushed. And my North Node is in Leo, so I'm moving towards shining my light more instead of just being the observer and the intellectual in the background. And you have Saturn in Leo, right? So you're becoming this like authority over time. in that place of confidence, in that seat of confidence, professionally. So, like, I mean, and it makes so much sense, right? Like, you're helping businesses restructure and step into like a seat of confidence within themselves, right?
Yeah, I mean, I tracked a lot of women with Leo North nodes and Aquarius South node. I would say you're like the third woman in a row.
Wow.
Two prior clients, one an astrology client, one my a current human design client. And I'm sure the people I give advice to are like that too. I just don't know their data. But what I saw with you, and I'm a Leo midheaven,
Yeah,
and I Venus in Leo.
right.
So what I saw with you was a woman. I had nothing wrong with what you said. I don't even remember. It was had to do with mundane astrology and fear mongering around mundane astrology. I thought it was taken out of context. I had to step in because what I saw is a woman. I felt a woman who was going to shrink herself as a result of this. Because these women, people out here internalize stuff. I don't. I will throw it back in your face like a firecracker.
So
But
it,
most women are not like that.
yeah,
Most women take one comment, internalize it. They never get on stage again. They don't put themselves out there again. They don't put on threads again. I remember you said something like, I think I need to take a step back from threads or,
Yeah, I was
and
like,
I was like,
I don't participate in this thing, da da da. Yeah. And you were like,
I
oh
was
no.
like, no, and I was like, no, honey, well, that's not what we're going to do. What we're going to do is we're going to call out the nonsense going on here. And I was like, I had nothing wrong with what you said. And I just wanted to make sure that you knew that what you said was fine and it's other people's problem. It's not yours. And I don't step in other people's business. Like I'm not trying out here to try to be like a superhero. I just like, I don't know. We were meant to converse.
Totally.
Right.
They'd have
Yeah.
an conjunct my North Node, like to the degree. So pretty powerful
Oh,
karmic placement,
right.
right?
Right. Right. And I have Pluto on my North node in Libra in the 11th.
Right, exactly. So creating those collaborative relationships and transformative relationships for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Transformative relationships for me and women, Libra, I mean,
Yeah, for
not
sure.
necessarily, but um, who are changing the world in their own way. And making sure that they are doing the work they need to do in the world and helping them do that work in the world.
Oh, wow.
Whatever it is, if they're every color under the rainbow you can imagine I work with, all doing good stuff, not necessarily healer, not necessarily spiritualist, but they're transforming people's lives.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that is the work that I do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Uranus on the midheaven. I checked you out,
Yeah, right.
right? And a Uranus on the midheaven can't be afraid of that kind of commentary.
Yeah, right. Well, and it's like looking at that. I mean, obviously, whoever got attacked was an old wounded part of myself,
Right,
was not my
right,
adult self who's like, okay, that's your business, you know.
right.
And so, but it's important, I think, that we have people in our lives and in our field who can kind of like cut through the bullshit of where our blind spots are,
Yep.
right? Which is kind of what I think that superpower is for you, especially having Uranus conjunct your ascendant, right? In Scorpio. You
Yes.
through the illusion and, really kind of with the spidey sense. I mean, it's almost like this feeling I get from you is that there's just such a deep intuitive knowing of what someone might need actually in that moment. It's like a direct hit. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm recording a couple of case studies for clients who just were like, or they're like, I want to help you out. I'm like, you're not helping me out. You're helping the tribe out. Because
Uh-huh.
people are going to buy this as a result of this because it's hard to explain. It's like we don't have anything out here like this. We have business coaching, we have therapy, we have readings, we have we have human design readings, we have strategy sessions. I do all of that at once.
Yeah, so what do you call yourself if that's all encompassing?
The current title is Business Alchemist and Clarity Architect.
Say more about that if you could like unpack that process. Like, what does that look like for someone who's coming to work with you?
So right now, what I do is Clarity by Design, which is my single session work. I'm building out my bigger system, and that is just it's what you experienced. You had a bite size of it. It's somebody's coming to me. They're stuck. They're blocked. something's not working in their business and they don't know what, but they know something. Or they know they're on the edge of a shift. They want a new platform, change their business, clients aren't working, something's awry. And that's the Business Alchemist part of the title. So what I do is I come in, I don't know how I do it. I'm still learning this because it sounds too good to be true. Um, but I can see their chart and I can sometimes feel the minute they book. You know how energy shifts when you step forward, the universe steps.
Yeah.
So the minute they book, I already know what's going on. And then I require 48 hours before the session, because what happens, I'll look at their chart 48 hours before. This is just human design, it's not astrology.
Okay.
Um, and I, for now, I don't know for now, and the chart will talk to me. And then I prepare a couple of notes, but really in the session, it's like I'm like, can we just, there's no white glove. There's no like, and there's no like, let me tell me about your business and tell me about your, we're not wasting time. It's like 75 minutes, boom, medicine done.
Wow.
And so what it is it's a harmonicized frequency.
Hmm.
You walk away with a harmonicized frequency because whatever you were, it's not mindset coaching. It's not like you can be, I've changed you. The thing that was out, the gear, we got the screwdriver up in there. And then the thing that wasn't working is working.
Yeah.
So I'm still learning this a little bit, but like an example is I work with a woman, I believe last week. Time is weird right now. Time is really weird. I believe it was last week. And her design was that she needs to speak from her intuition. And that sounds like a generic statement, but her specific design is there's a part of human design that's a center of intuition, and there's a part of human design that is related to the throat, which is what we communicate. And she had multiple channels connecting them.
Hmm.
And the other aspects of her, just to keep it, she's coming on as a case study, so she won't mind me sharing this, but she um up in her head a lot. And I said, we need to get you just to speak from your intuition. Stop overthinking it. You are a leader. You do have something to say. People care what you have to say because a lot of the people don't believe that.
Hmm.
They don't see themselves as leaders. And so the next day or something, she was on a panel. She took the advice, spoke from her intuition. Everyone's coming up to her afterwards.
Wow.
Everyone's like, you're a great this, blah, 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 blah. So what we've done now is we've changed her mental model, neuroscience.
Yeah.
This isn't about energy anymore. This isn't about woo anymore. This is like your view of yourself is different now because you have earth plane evidence that when you speak from your intuition, good things happen. It
And it was like that.
was like that.
I'm so fascinated by this.
I am too, and I do it. I just recorded a podcast, said I'm the person doing this, and I'm wowed by my own work.
That's beautiful. You
I
should,
mean,
as you should.
Leo, Leo, Med Heaven, Venus, and Leo. I'm not a flower. I'm not a wallflower.
Yeah.
I,
No.
I'm like,
You're the leader for the leaders.
I'm the leader for the leaders. And as a 5-1 with Pluto on her north node, Uranus on her ascendant, I'm going to rub people the wrong way. I'm going to be too much for people. I'm going to scare people. Um, it's water off a duck's back.
But you know what? I think that's actually what that's what people who even like me need to see is that even if you're rubbing people the wrong way, even if you're being projected upon, you're like whatever. And that's kind of the energy leaders need to bring to it because there's a truth that's there. There's an alignment that's there that's like, well, this isn't even about me. This is about the bigger picture here. And I'm not going to like let this one little person or this person like get in the way of this like bigger picture that's emerging. I mean, that's just absurd.
No, I mean, I have such a harsh way of saying it. I'm not going to say it, but yeah, you said it in a much nicer way. And I just had a realization on this podcast that Libra reflection. I just had a moment. You want me to share the moment I just had?
Yeah.
I realized that everything I've done in my life has been preparing me for this.
Mhm.
Saturn, Leo, midheaven,
Yeah.
the reps. So I grew up in a racist town. I grew up in the only brown person in the 70s, 80s in New England, which people love New England. We love gay marriage. We love pot, but we've got some issues. Okay. We've got some issues. We didn't used to allow gay people in the parade, and we have some issues. We have some busing issues. We had some issues. So people didn't know what Indians were back then because my parents were early wave. And so I learned early, I have a South Node in Aries. Okay, I was born into this. So I learned early that being I never was raised into you need to be liked. I wasn't going to be liked anyway.
Hmm.
So then I was too dark and I was called the N word and stuff like this. Then I went to college, and because I've light skin, I'm wearing an F ton of bronzer and blush right now because I don't like I can look washed out. I have anemia. I can look a little yellow, especially in the winter. But my skin is quite white. It has like I'm very light skinned for being a full Indian, and so I
Hmm.
got a lot of problems about that in college. And so I was always put in these situations where it was never easy. I always had to kind of defend myself.
Right.
And then Aries South Node, got into, I had to put my reps in there. And then I was in advertising industry in New York, management consulting industry in New York, Silicon Valley tech industry, 14 years as an entrepreneur supporting myself. Cutthroat industry. The supplement industry is extremely cutthroat. The beauty industry is extremely cutthroat. Cornell engineering that I went to back in the day, we didn't have computers. You took your notebook in the bathroom with you because people would steal your stuff.
Oh my God.
So the online world is like,
It's like,
I'm
no,
in a sandbox. I'm like, you don't like me?
whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah. And there's also like, I mean, the thing that, especially threads, is like, it's almost so, there's no way for, not no way, but it's almost more challenging for it to be intimidating because it's like this faceless profile. I mean, do we really even know that these people are real people? I mean, all that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I think that awareness, that aha, that revelation that's happening for you, on this new moon in Scorpio,
Mm-hmm.
not to culmination, but it's opposing Uranus and like awakening to something about ourselves or something in the shadow and recognizing, yeah, my whole life prepared me for this.
Yep. And Saturn at the top of the chart unaspected, not an easy placement.
Yeah.
No one said that is going to come easy. Whatever I do in life, it didn't come easy.
Right. Hard work, patience.
Hard reps and being in those rooms where someone was going to come at you. And so I'm not going to go too much into it, but I had an incident a couple of weeks ago. Started on Threads, turned into a whole thing. Influencer didn't like me, made content on me, put it out to her hundreds of thousands of followers, called me a racist. Yeah, I
What?
know. Threads is a lunacy. The social media, it's fake. The whole
Cra-
thing's fake.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
fake. And I made a podcast about it. I made an entire arc of podcasts about it on my podcast because I was like, this is the worst that's going to happen. Because after this, I'm taking you to court. So if this is the worst, and then if you start to, if we start to do slander, I'm going to go to court because Saturn on the midheaven,
Right.
chestnut checkers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Social media is checkers. Real life is chess.
Yeah.
So there's times for that. But I was like, yeah, use it as content, use it as commentary about low side Aquarius, high side Leo. Like, who are we elevating as leaders?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Well,
Pitchfork culture.
I think also because you're a Virgo sun, you have this ability to really sift through the nonsense and really kind of get to, you know, like what's real here, what's valuable, what's sustainable.
Right. Right. And that's what I do in Clarity by Design. It's like I could tell you 25,000 things about your chart. Is it useful right now? Is it going to change your business? Is it going to solve your problem? Is it going to get you a client tomorrow? No. Um so It's not a human design reading. You don't even need to know human design. It's not so you can learn about yourself. You are going to learn about yourself, but just not in like a cookie cutter way.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you're using it as a tool and a reference to see what's going on. But
Right.
it's not like, here's an interpretation in the
Right.
traditional sense. Yeah.
Right. Right. And I just think a lot of business advice is generic.
Yeah. It is. And that I actually just experienced myself. And, over the 12 years that I've been in private practice, I have done a lot of different containers and trainings and, programs, and they all basically sell you the same exact thing
Yep.
in with different language. And
Yep.
it just finally occurred to me this summer that I was just like, wait, but what if you're a person who doesn't actually fit into those kinds of boxes, right?
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, can I share a little bit of what our exchange was
Of course,
with
yeah.
the yeah. So you said something, you said you're 2-4, and I don't know why I felt like I needed to get up in there, right? Maybe so we could have this conversation. And I'm sure there's no coincidences in life. And you said something like, I don't want to be a problem solver or
Right.
something.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you said something about problem solving and maybe 5-1 or profile or whatever.
Yes.
And then I said, oh, that's such a relief because I'm kind of tired of trying to solve people's problems. And you were like, well,
Yeah.
that's perfect because that's
That's not
not,
what you're here to do.
yeah.
No,
I was like,
no, I'm here to do that.
yes, right.
You're not here to do that. And think about that math. If I'm a 5-1 and you're a 2-4, and we have no numbers in common. Now, profile is one piece. There's 64 gates. I'm just saying, but it's what people understand because you can get a free report. You can look it up. Okay, it's free. I get it. It's useful. Um, but why would we be here to do the same thing if we have different numbers?
Yeah, exactly. And can you just like for the people who, because I know a lot of the people who subscribe here into astrology, but they don't necessarily know that
Human
much
design.
human design. Like what is a profile and what does that speak to?
Okay. Okay. Profile is your role in the world.
Okay.
It's something anybody can find for free online, any free report. And it is, I don't want people to go do this. It's kind of like your positioning back of the envelope, but please use it like you'd use a sun sign. Like if you guys are astrologers, like use it with care. Don't run off with the I'm a Virgo. So, it's one piece, but the profile is really profound. And I will tell you why the profile is profound because I'm assuming your audience is on the older side, established side, been around the block in life. If you look up a profile, and then I'll get into more detail of what it is. If you look it up and you're like, this is not me at all, human design is not for you.
Ah, interesting.
Great litmus test before you waste time. Because your birth time is wrong, or for whatever reason, that system is just not for you. Like you're here to be healed by a different modality. I think everyone can learn from it, but I am certified in NLP and I spent thousands of dollars. I probably spent $10,000 between certification and the best in the world. And I was like, this doesn't work for me.
Mm,
Conscious programming, I need unconscious stuff. Um, Maybe I did it wrong. Maybe it was the wrong step of my journey, whatever. But if you are someone who looks up your profile and you have an correct birth time and you're like, this is not me at all, human design is not for you right now.
hmm.
You can put it on the shelf, go learn something else, work with somebody else, and then come back.
Yep.
Great. Because other aspects of your chart are affected by the people around you. They're affected by the planets. They're affected by the transits. They're affected by astrology. But your profile is not.
Okay. So it's kind of like this core pillar.
It's
Yeah.
a core pillar. Virgo, I'm going to give you what's the juiciest piece, and you're not going to see that on the memes on Instagram. You're not going to see that on the surface nonsense.
Hmm.
Okay. Because it doesn't sell. Um, so your profile is your sun and your earth. We don't have earth in astrology, but we have the sun. But the sun in human design has way more prominence because human design is about energy.
Okay.
So
Wow.
the sun gives us life,
Yeah. Right.
right? I think that because it was from a white man, he de-emphasized the moon. I don't like that he de-emphasized the moon, and traditional human design does not use Chiron. I do. However, irrelevant for profile. Sun, Earth. What are you here to do on Earth?
Right. Okay. That's
What's your role?
yeah. It's so simple.
Why were you put here?
Hmm. And so, in your case, as a 5-1, you're here to solve people's problems.
I'm here to be a visionary resource. So it means the solutions I come up with are not going to be conventional. They're going to push humanity forward. The founder of human design was a 5-1.
Oh, fascinating.
Okay. So he was a rough, he's not, he was also a manifester, which there are types in human design. The manifestors are like the 9% who are like, they turn the key. They're head of people. They're my friend who's a manifester told me about human design 2 years later. I got on it. Now I have a podcast on it. She's moved on to something else. They
Yeah.
turn the key and they're on the way. Right. He was that. So he died long before human design was even a thing. I think he died in the 90s. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Um, but he came up with this like 40, 50 years ago. People thought he was a quack.
Yeah. It was a total.
Um, it sounds crazy.
Yeah. Right.
And he was a rough dude. He was not a dude that was a touchy feely. He was not a healer. He was an advertising exec.
Wow.
He's
Fast.
rich. And he was a man, and he was white, and he was a manifester, and he was a 5-1. So that's like sandpaper on your face,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
Um, but the system is genius.
Hmm.
And 5-1 is very much like people will burn you at the stake. So I don't put my reputation on anything unless I have studied it. I studied it for 4 years and lived it for 4 years before I work with anybody with it.
Hmm.
Saturn.
Yeah. I was going to say Saturn up there.
Yeah. So that's the profile. And so you as a 2-4, you have a natural gift that is brought out by your network.
By the people around me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And collaborators, ex-clients, people in your network. I would consider Threads a network. I mean, network is changing.
Yeah.
Um, Events you go to, people you meet. I could be, someone's like, oh, I'm looking for someone who's like a therapist or like accountant. I know someone like that's you.
Mhm.
And you're going to elevate your network. That's what this is.
Right. Exactly.
And
Hmm.
you're not here to like be I mean, everyone says, oh, businesses are here to solve problems. I mean, not really. I mean,
Well, I think that's actually why I have, in this particular year, I'm in a 10th house perfected year this year. And since May, and I've been thinking a lot about like my business and, I'm 12 years in, so it's full Jupiter cycle. And I feel like I'm outgrowing how I do the work that I do, right? And
right.
like all of the ways in which it's worked for me in the past, like aren't working anymore. And I need to kind of like reframe something or do something in a different way where it feels more authentic to me. I have Pluto going through my first house, and
Oh.
and it's like I'm under reconstruction just even in who I am. um and so when you said that, it was kind of like this permission slip because here I've been like, oh, okay, so when I sit down to write a Substack article, I have to come up with something that's really useful, something that's practical solutions. I'm helping people solve problems.
Mm,
Whereas and I struggle with that. It'll take me hours to write, and I'm a writer. Like it doesn't, it's one of the ways in which I express myself, Gemini moon. But when I sit down to do it in that capacity, it's like this block shows up where I'm like, I'm not part of the equation. It's like this detached version of myself. And what I'm seeing needs to shift is that I need to bring more of my experience, my perspective forward, um, in a more personal way, which is, more vulnerable too, right? You put more
right.
vulnerable self out there into the world, and it's like, you open yourself up for judgment, attack, whatever, criticism, all these things.
Just call me. I'll yell at them and then you can keep going.
And exactly. I'll be like, where are my people? When I need it.
Yeah, yeah.
But also, yeah, I guess like just knowing that's not like I'm not here to be like other people who just go and create the 5 steps this is the solution for you. Or, the cookie cutter astrology posts that there's so many of them now. I'm like, I can't handle it. Like, I don't even want
No.
to be an astrologer anymore with
Same.
15 posts,
Same.
you know? So anyway, so I'm like in this, identity disillusion in a way because I'm like, okay, well, I know I'm a natural counselor. I know I have all these different clair gifts, clairaudience, clairvoyance, all this stuff that I can bring into my sessions with people to help them transform.
Right.
But what else, And there's also this part of me that's like ready to just be a creative person, and
Yep.
be in that helper role. But it also feels like, could I really do that? You know? Can I really keep away from this? I don't know.
I mean, I think you are naming what everybody is thinking right now. I don't care what their job is. I don't care if they're admitting it to themselves or just like popping pills and like buying extra Christmas ornaments at Target to drown themselves in their sorrow. Um, Everyone is like, I want to throw everything away.
Yes, it's so true. So true. Yeah.
I plan to go shopping in December and just buy. I'm like, as soon as I do, and I have a few more clothes, I'm getting rid of everything I own. It's really old anyway. I mean, I've been worn it for years. Like, I just Taurus moon. I'm very practical. I mean, wearing like a fuzzy, but some of my stuff's got holes in it. I'm just like, I'm getting rid of everything. Like, it's old me.
Yeah, right.
Every yes, the shed. I think this new moon. I don't think that's a coincidence we're meeting. Because what time zone are you in? You're
I'm
in
mountain time. What time does it start?
1 a.m. for me, 1:30 a.m. for me. I'm Eastern
Okay. Yeah.
today. For you?
Yeah.
Mm,
Well,
yeah,
I'm 2 hours behind.
yeah. Okay, so today, let's round up. Today, I firmly believe this is the start. I mean, the conjunction is in 4 months, 3 months,
Exactly.
February 20th.
Right.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is it. And I think everyone is like, but I got this degree, but I did this, but I built this website, but it's like,
It's
and
yeah, it's not
it's,
it. Yeah,
it's not it. And I'm going to tell you what you already know, but you need me to tell you.
I do.
You've got Uranus on the top of the freaking chart. Like where I have Saturn, you have Uranus. There is nothing you're here to do is supposed to be like other people are doing it.
Yeah.
If you're doing anything like anybody else is doing it, you're wrong. Like you're going the wrong way.
Right. Go the other way. Well, and it
Right.
squares my ascendant, it opposes my sun and
Okay.
my nodes. So I have this grand fixed cross in my chart that includes Uranus. And yeah, I mean, I'm an Aquarius rising. I know I'm not here to do it the way that other people are doing it, but it's like I guess it's well, I guess that's pretty scary to not know where to
It's
go.
scary. It's scary. Next year's a lot of people are scared. People don't know and they're clinging on to what they know because that's what we do. Humans do that. We fear change. People say, oh, people love change. No, no, the subconscious likes to stay fed and safe and liked. Um, but I don't know. Like I have so much like scorpionic stuff in my chart. I mean, I have Mars out of bounds, and the eighth is my ruling planet. I'm Scorpio rising. You're like I'm not your typical person. And because of the background I come from, I've never been the person who fit in.
Right, right.
I'm never going to fit in. I have Uranus on my ascendant. I realize I walk into rooms, I magnetize half the room, I scare the rest of the room.
I've had that same impact on people, which is
Yeah.
interesting. You know,
Uranus, well, the Uranus,
yeah.
Aquarius rising, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I've always kind of been an outsider in some capacity and have walked a different path. I still am walking a different path. And I remember the first astrology reading I ever had, he said that. He's like, you're not going to be walking, you're a pheasant in the barnyard, is what he called me. And he's like,
Ah,
you intimidate people or you threaten something about them and you have a different perspective that sometimes people are just not interested in hearing, you know?
I don't see that at all with you. I see this like I see this thing I'm wearing. Like I'm like a wolf in sheep's clothing. I love this. If you I don't know if you've seen the meme, there's like a whole bunch of sheep and then there's the wolf and he's in the sheep.
Yeah. Oh,
That's me. I walk in and disrupt because I'm Saturn at the top of my chart. So you think I'm a lawyer, and then I walk in, I melt your face off.
right. I love it. I love
I
that.
walk in like the Ann Taylor outfit, and everyone's like, "Oh, what do you do?" And I'm like, "I'm an alchemist."
Yeah.
Like, "Oh no." But
Wow.
you feel like a warm fuzzy blanket to me. So I don't know if it's the Uranus, sorry, not, Aquarius rising,
Mm.
which is why I had this like protectionistic, like into instinct with you.
Mm.
Like I was like, we have to protect the sheep here. Not that you're a sheep, but you're like a. I don't see that at all.
Well, your Jupiter Mars conjuncts my Venus in Cancer.
Oh,
That's what,
protection.
yeah, protection. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
funny. A lot of my clients actually have some sort of conjunction with my natal Venus.
Oh.
Conjunction or an aspect. It's really interesting. A lot of my clients. Yeah, and I have a lot of Cancer rising clients too, just as a side note.
Hmm.
But yeah, yeah. I mean, I just think what you're speaking to, and I've been talking about this too, this whole year, I've been, just reminding people that like we're in a process of shedding. We're in a 9 year numerologically, we're moving into a 1 year. The Saturn Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries is going to be like a complete reset for humanity at large. And then however that shows up for us personally, I
Yeah.
mean, who knows.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
mean,
we're in like a birth portal, which is such a cliche thing to say because I feel like
mhm.
how many times a year do we say this thing? But it kind of is true.
So true.
Yeah,
So true. And it started at the Virgo eclipse because the full moon's on March 3rd.
right.
I mean, I rarely use the word portal. I've taken it out of my language because it's been, taken by other people. I didn't I refuse to call myself a business alchemist for the longest time. We talked about this in the thread.
Have, that's right. Yeah. And
And
we
two
both,
years ago, yeah, 2 years ago, I got in like a Silicon Valley type podcast. The guy had no idea what human design was. I was like, what am I doing here? His assistant booked me. She's a bit woo. She found me. She liked me. And then he looked at me. He's like, you're a business alchemist.
thank you for the title.
Thank you for the title. It took me 2 years to own that
Mm,
because it sounded dumb. Everybody uses it. Nobody can actually do what I do. I'm sorry, Leo Midheaven. I apologize. But people who are alchemists calling themselves alchemists are not alchemists out here. They're
mm,
not. They're not.
yeah.
Um, I went to like a butterfly place a couple of weeks ago. It's one of my last. I don't post on Instagram much, but it's one of the top most reels. And a blue morph butterfly, which is the big transformation butterfly, the huge butterfly, landed in my hair while I was walking around in my hair. It's in the reel. I'm just walking around. It's hanging out, spread, and I'm like, I'm owning it.
Wow.
I'm owning that I'm an alchemist.
Hmm.
Um, this whole brand started because I met this red tail boa. She's also on my feed. There's a picture of her, and you can see her like wrapped around me, and I love snakes, obviously, and she was crawling up in my face. She was on my face and stuff. So it's not for the squeamish, but she's the one.
Mm,
That's why I came out with my astrology. I started posting on Instagram about astrology.
wow. And when was that?
11/11/2021. Not
Wow.
making that up.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah.
I went for a dentist appointment. I swear to God, my friend who has a snake, she lived in the neighborhood, and I was like, let's hang out. Um, and that was that.
Wow.
I'm actually on 11/22, which is coming up.
Yeah.
I'm going to post the reel of her. I have all this footage I'm going to put together. It was never the right time to
Now,
show her, and now it is.
yeah.
Because I was like, oh, people are uncomfortable with snakes. And I'm like, why do I care what other people? It's my Instagram.
Yeah. It's yours.
See, we have our own, we all have our own.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Right. Your own stuff. So you do have it somewhere. It's like in there that,
Hmm.
yeah, it's a human condition,
It's a human condition, but it's all comes from like, oh, I don't want to make people uncomfortable, like if they're afraid of snakes or something. Like, but I'm like, Shiva has a snake around him.
right?
Every major culture like reveres snakes. Like, what are we doing?
Exactly.
Why are you? I don't think she was ready. I think Miss Wheezy, that was her name. I didn't make it up. She wasn't ready to appear.
Hmm.
She appears, Um, and we can just talk about it. I mean, the goddess uprising that's going to happen next year, the female uprising is
Huge.
huge. People aren't ready.
Yeah. And so let's talk about that a little bit. Like, how can people get ready?
We starting by what we did together. Whatever is the surface nonsense, and I'm going to call that threads exchange a surface nonsense, it's irrelevant. We can't let that stuff get in the way of the bigger mission, right? So you had like a level 3, which felt like a level 10 of the person attacking you. And you're like, I don't know if I'm going to do this. And I'm like, no, no, we're not going to have that. We're going to come in. I had the level 10 because I'm a little bit, I had the influencer who's got the hundreds of thousands of followers creating hate content about me.
Right.
Because, calling someone a racist is pretty much the worst thing you can do in our society.
Totally.
Um, so tried to weaponize her people against me. It didn't work. And low side Aquarius, low
Very.
side Aquarius,
Yeah.
pitchfork. Yeah. I'm like, Aries South Node. I mean, I've been to war 500 million years before came on Earth. Like, I don't, yeah. And, you know, I don't like to get into battles. I'm Aries South Node. I live that life. I like to be Libra, but I'm also there. I will throw hands if I need to.
Mhm.
And I think when people can prepare in their own way, just like I had a client the other week. She used to, she always just to like explain herself. And I said, for 30 days, I want you to not do that.
Mm.
And I don't mean in your business because that's a lot. I mean like at Trader Joe's. I mean when the doctor's office is like, can you guys come in a half an hour earlier or can we just no.
Set the boundary. Yeah.
Or sure, that sounds great. Well, yeah, I could do that, but I don't know. No.
Yeah.
I think that's how we prepare.
Mhm.
Because
Clarity.
I think we erode ourselves when we do that.
Mhm. Well, and the South Node supports that through Virgo right now.
Mm.
We're explaining
Out of service.
out of
I didn't
service.
want to put this snake on there out of service to some random person who can choose not to look at it because they might be afraid of snakes. I'm like, what?
They
It
can,
doesn't even make sense. Huh?
they can go like this and swipe on by.
I know, but if you listen to some of my podcasts, the stuff I say is so over the top. Like it's not white glove. It's just we're very inconsistent. Humans are so inconsistent.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much.
So yeah, that's kind of what I do. And kind of like what you felt. Remember I said like you feel different, right? One thread, you felt different.
Mhm. Yeah, it just opened something up for me that, again, like you had said, it was like, yeah,
Butterfly.
the butterfly. It was like I had probably heard that, read that elsewhere, and it just
Right.
didn't land. But the way
Yeah.
delivery with which you bring the truth is what actually lands, which not many people have that gift.
Thank you. Yeah. I just got an insight when you did that. That's why the blue morph butterfly, because it's in my sales page. Everything of mine is very like simple. It's because I don't do the fancy pants right now. I'm like later. But it's in the cal.com and I set you free. It has the blue morph butterfly. That's exactly what it is.
It's so simple.
It's so simple. But we feel like because like what I do doesn't exist right now and what you ever you're creating doesn't exist. It's like we don't know how to talk about it. We
No.
need other people to talk about it for us.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. You're undefined throat. I'm undefined throat. So for human design, people who don't know, that's a center where you communicate. And 25% of the population has it undefined, which means it's open, uncolored. And so it's rare. And I have two podcasts. It's not that I can't talk, but it's like I can't really talk about myself.
Hmm.
I like other people are going to bring out my goodness. Same with you.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah. So, since this is your podcast, your people already know this, but I'm going to ask you as a 2/4, what is your natural gift? Put you on the spot here.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is like pattern recognition, but I don't know if that's actually it. I don't know. But I would say that I'm really good at spotting patterns in people's lives, not just in the chart. I mean, this is a tool that I use it to like
Right.
in into and be like, well, this is why. But it's also the material that I listen to when I'm sitting across from somebody, even if I'm not even aware of their chart. It's what I can hear in their story, and how I can kind of connect the dots with that.
Yeah,
And
it's kind of like we do similar things in that way.
hmm
Because I have very little two-line energy, but my Uranus is on a two-line.
okay, so yeah, that awakening energy.
That ability to pattern, it's gate 44, which is the pattern make basically. So we do the same thing in different ways.
Wow. I mean, it
I
does
that's
it does feel like that because
right.
there are times when clients will say like, "Wow, I've never had that said to me before," or like, I've never thought of it that way, you
Yeah.
know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. That's exactly it. That's that Uranus.
Yeah.
And it's futuristic. I mean, even astrology and counseling, even if you just did what you do right now, that's not really typical.
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, that's been reflected to me a couple of times of just like, well, how do you do what it is that you do? And I'm like, I don't even know how to explain what it is that I do
Yeah.
because it's like a process. I've never delineated the process. I mean, yes, I know astrology, but how do I actually sit down with a human being, listen to their experience, and then weave it back to the chart and pull information? It's alchemy in its own right.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, I'm here to well, I would like to throw the business industry on its head. Um, and I would just want to get in front of a couple of the right people to experience this. And then I think it'll take off from there because it has to be experienced.
Yeah.
And I had an Akashic reader told me 4 years ago or 3 years ago, at least 3 year, might have been 4 years ago. She said, you need to be experienced to be understood. She's like, you can't be labeled. And I was like, well, that's not really helpful as someone in business. Um, but it's true. So, yeah, that's what Clarity by Design is. I do astrology work. It's a smaller part of what I do now because, like you, I don't really love the industry. And I'm like, how much do I want to be associated with this nonsense?
Right. Exactly.
It's a rush to the bottom. Um, but I love transit progressed astrology.
Yeah. Oh, it's so amazing. So powerful.
I
I mean, your progressed midheaven is conjunct your north node right now.
Yeah. I
This
mean,
year is going to be so massive for you, I would guess.
I'm going to fix cross coming up. Pluto in Aquarius is going to activate my T square. Fixed grand T square.
And then Jupiter's going to move into Leo in June, and then you'll be in a second house profected year, which Jupiter will be your time lord. So that's huge.
Yeah. It feels big. Feels big. It feels like I got to get my, you know what, together, like all the things, the paperwork I haven't done and the stuff I need to throw away. And I feel like we can't have that going into 20. We can ease into it. We got to ease into it, right? Because we got the 9 year ending. We got the Scorpio moon cycle. Then we got the 9 year. Then if you believe in human design, that ends at the end of January this year.
Okay.
It's when the sun moves into a certain gate in Aquarius because considered that varies per year. Then we got year of the snake ending.
Mhm.
Then we got the conjunction.
Yep.
And then we got the sun moving into Aries. So we have time to ease into this. And then Uranus moves into Gemini and boom.
Right. Well, I mean, and there's a solar eclipse in Aquarius coming up in February also.
Oh.
And then that's going to give us the preview of that whole cycle, which for you
That's the
impactful, right? Because your midheaven's in Leo.
Yeah, I mean it feels big. It feels big and it feels kind of scary. It also feels kind of frustrating. I think people like us who are on the cusp, it's kind of like why bother? Like it's just the stuff is so played out. People like the surface and it's like ugh.
Yeah, I know. It does feel like that. I mean, over the past couple of years, there's been new voices emerging, which is like it's great, good for you. And at the same time, it's become a noisier space to speak into. And it's like, what is the point? Am I really going to get hurt here?
100%. And then I go to an event. I went to an event recently with a woman. Her name is Kelly Hunter, and she's been in the industry for forever. Like OG, 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 OG. Okay, I always want to elevate the women who've been there, who because they paved the way.
Right.
And she did this talk on Humea. who is a Kuiper Belt goddess. I'm increasingly interested in the Kuiper Belt, and she's in Scorpio too. And she'll be there for a long time because outer trans new Neptunian. And I was just listening to her. I'm like, and I'm a Virgo. I'm very discerning about people. I was like, I could just talk to this woman, and anything she says is going to be absolute just gold,
Mhm.
right? I'm going to learn just from five. And I was like, who are we elevating? What are we doing?
Hmm.
What are we doing here?
Yeah. Great
And I
question.
had this, I had a moment after that where I was just feeling really down about everything. Cause I was just like, how can we get the people who've done the reps, Saturn on the midheaven, right? How can we get those people? I mean, I believe she's in her 60s, maybe, and it's like, she's like, how do we get these people talking?
Yeah. And like listen to their wisdom.
Mm-hmm. And she's on Substack. She has a big brand. I mean, she's been on Pam Gregory's. Like she's not someone that people don't know. It was an example. It was just like
Well,
there's
your
a lot of people,
I mean, there's no doubt
huh?
about it. Time is coming.
I hope so. I hope so. I feel like I've been preparing for this and I'm doing more podcasts now. I was more inward before. I didn't feel like I was ready to share what I was doing with the world because it wasn't baked yet.
Mhm. Yeah.
I've been working on this for 3 years. This particular clarity by design, what I do right now, that has been a 3-year journey
Wow. So like
of working.
Saturn cycle.
Potentially, I think it's a channel of mutation. It's a when Pluto is sitting in gate 60, which is a gate in human design that's the cusp of Capricorn Aquarius. It's been in that gate on and off since 2021, early. And it's leaving on December 9th.
Interesting.
Um, so because of my configuration, I have so if this is the gate below it and this is the gate above it, I have that now. I have like a zinger. I've got like a bar form and that wouldn't be there. And this particular channel is a channel of people who create things onto earth that don't exist yet.
Right. Wow. And that is quite the challenge in and of itself.
Yeah. It's a challenge. It's not linear, it's mutative.
Right.
It's like I have this idea for something, we're going to put it on a shelf. Client comes to me and says, "Do you do this thing? I think I have someone in mind who I want her to." And I was like, "I'm pull it off the shelf." Then I work with her and I'm like, "Oh, this is it." Then
Wow.
I put it out there, then someone else is like, "Oh, this is it." And then you get the data, the Saturn, the diligence,
Yeah.
right? So that's the stage I'm in, but it's ready now for public. It's ready. It's on my link tree. I'm announcing it to my podcast tomorrow.
Amazing. Perfect for this new moon.
Yeah. I've never actually publicly announced it. It's like quietly on my link tree, but I'm announcing it here and I'm announcing it on my podcast tomorrow,
Beautiful.
which is a human design informed podcast for business owners. So that would be the audience for that particular offering.
And what's that called?
The podcast Clear Signal.
Clear signal. Oh, I love these phrases. Clear signal. And then there's clarity by design, which is
That's
your,
the offer. Yep, that's the offering. And my other podcast is Cosmic Brew, which is like political commentary and social commentary meets Dark Goddess.
oh, love that.
It's spicy. It's a spicy.
Great. Let that,
It,
that fly.
yeah, That's a collective discussion. It's not like what you do. It's the opposite kind of what you do, where
Okay.
you're working on people's insides. That's talking about society.
Mhm.
And I don't call it mundane astrology because I don't do global, but it's like it shifts. Now I'm talking more business. It birthed on the Virgo full moon in 2022, right when Pluto was starting to speed up and yeah.
Wow.
So it's been a documentation. It's all the players, all these are all the players. It's been a documentation of how society has shifted over the past 4 years.
How cool.
Yeah. And
Such
I've
a
had some really cool women on there. If you ever want to come on there and talk, that'd be cool. I've had a Harvard trained psychiatrist who has wrote a book on Chiron. I have a woman who's an AI tech exec who calls herself a witch and is a clinical herbalist.
ooh, wow. That's awesome. What a cool bridge.
I mean, we're out here. I'm a former math engineer. We're out here.
Well, and
We
this,
just
I think, like this time is the time where people who do those multiple, like live those parallel lives or like can blend those worlds. Uranus and Gemini, like nobody's just going to be doing the one thing. It's
no,
just not going to be like that.
no. And I said this on my podcast. I don't even think I'm going to hire a copywriter to write my copy until Uranus goes into Gemini because I think language is going to change.
100%. Yeah. Well,
I
already
don't.
people are like, I can't use the M dash anymore with AI, and all the other, ways in which people are communicating and connecting in general, I think. I think,
Well, look at how we connected. Uranus and Gemini vibration.
right?
Then, which we connected when Uranus, I believe, was in Gemini.
Mhm.
And then, I just said one word. Like that thing that I said about you being a 2-4, that wasn't vocal. I don't think I didn't we didn't work together.
Right.
It
It
wasn't
was
a pay like I just
it was a transmission.
it's a transmission through words, but written word.
Right.
Asynchronous written word, which is kind of interesting.
Well, it's frequency.
Yes. And that's what human design is. Forget all the memes, forget all the pop culture, forget all the big names, forget all the it's frequency. Astrology is timing and soul evolution, and your identity is changing and your life is changing because you are changing. Amazing. I do that in Cosmic Catalyst, which is my everything's in my stuff.
Great. I'm going to put all that stuff here. So, yeah.
Human design is frequency, and the two can work together. They don't have to be at odds with one another.
Right. Like there's these systems that can coexist. This doesn't have to be this is better than. I mean, that's another thing in the astrological community. It's like, oh, whole
Oh
sign.
my God.
I'm like, whatever works for you. It all makes sense. Many paths to the truth here. Like, let's not get this confused.
Many paths to the truth. Vedic, you're into Vedic, great. You want to do side reel, love yes. You want whole sign, wonderful. Um, I'm getting interested in Uranian astrology.
Cool.
I had a hit. Someone had said that on a Facebook thing. I was like, all of a sudden, and of course, you know, people who don't know, Uranian astrology is very different. It's from Germany. It's very heavily math based, and you can't even use the existing software for that.
Right. It's like got its own
It's its
dial.
own thing.
Yeah, its own thing.
I'm like, I might just take that just class just to, why not?
Yeah. Learn something new.
Learn something new. I'm into the transpersonal now. I'm into the not trans Neptunian.
Oh,
Hyper about.
yeah.
I'm like, where we haven't been.
Right. Like new territory. Yeah.
New territory.
Well, it's so true because it seems so like everything's become this like people are bored, and they're overstimulated and they're overwhelmed and they don't even know how to synthesize and integrate even the past 5 years
Yeah.
and what's unfolded. So, yeah, I think I was watching, speaking of Pam Gregory, I was watching her talk to this woman who was channeling somebody. I can't remember who. But anyway, they were just talking about how this period of time is really great for just being in silence, actually.
Mm.
Let the energy kind of land in the body and to create that spaciousness for new information that wants to come through. Because to your point, I think you mentioned something about like, oh, I started feeling kind of down about this and I think that is where we can go with that Saturn Neptune energy is like this de like devolution into hopelessness and despair. Like, what's the point?
Right.
Whereas if we don't create that container for hope and for the future, what can we even walk into?
This is true. This is true. It's kind of fun talking to someone who does more personalized, like because I recorded 40 episodes for Cosmic Brew since Uranus went into Gemini. Crazy. Because there was so much happening. I had to report on it. I'm like a newscaster. I haven't had the time to sit back for myself, which I'll take a break soon and be like, because people need to can binge season 3 is to say, like, okay, how is this affecting me? How is this affecting like my life? Virgo, right? Serve, 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 but then, you know, um, and I don't do it out of like it's just the way we are. It's just
Right. You have
instinct.
so many planets above the horizon of your chart.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was never in the public eye until 4 years ago.
Right. Well, now, yeah, it seems like that's going to change. That's going to be shift.
I'm like, I'm ready for it, but I'm also like, are they ready for me? Am I too much?
Well, here's the thing. Saturn and Neptune and Aries is all about
Right,
leadership.
right. Ugh, we need it.
We need it. We need people to go first. We need people who are authentic. We need people who are no bullshit,
Yeah.
real true visionaries, not this like, I don't know, distorted version of leadership that we've been sold over the past however long.
Oh my God. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I talk about. I have a podcast dropping tomorrow that I recorded in my car last night. And I was like, is this the how I want to kick off season 2 of my podcast, which is professional? Cosmic Brew is like the smoke section in the back, and then Clear Signal is like, and I think I might drop that podcast. It was in my car. It was a riff on the human design community and the fake leaders in it. And real leadership is not about being nice.
Right.
Real leadership is about elevating. And sometimes we elevate by pointing at what's rotten.
Yeah, of course. You have to.
Yeah. I am so ready. I am so ready for Saturn, Neptune, and Air. I hope I'm not disappointed because I'm so like, I've been waiting for this for like 2 years. I'm
Right.
like,
I'm excited. I don't see why we shouldn't be excited. And I kind of get the sense that, there's been that language put around of like the world has bifurcated since 2020, right?
mhm.
I do feel that. I feel like we are living in different dimensions. Some people
Yeah,
are still living out the dimension of just, I mean, I don't even know what to call it, but I don't live there. That's
the
not
past.
past. Yeah, the past.
Yeah. Yeah, like nothing's changed. We're just going to LinkedIn. We're going to talk about my B2B sales. Like we we're not going to act like everyone is like in the verge of a nervous breakdown and poverty.
Yeah. And it's stale, there's a staleness. And I think
uh,
that fresh, 0 degrees Aries, it's like a fresh movement that can,
yep.
so,
I'll just say this as we probably are going to close soon. I'll say that right before I left the Bay Area, I was talking to a friend of mine. And because it's very scorpionic, how in the tarot, the original, oh, that's the Cancer card of the tarot, the moon card, but six and a half, one dozen of another. The lobster, it's coming up out of the water in the original. Okay. I said to him, I feel like I'm living in the shell of an old life.
that is literally the moment. That's
And
a
that's the collective moment we're in right now.
collective moment. That is literally it.
And it's starting to smell.
She's done it again.
It's starting to smell.
Yeah, exactly. So we're taking it off. We're not entering into 2026 with that old shell. It has to
No,
go.
you can't cover up fish smell with perfume. You got to throw it away.
100%. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much. This has been amazing. I want to have you back. I don't know
Yes.
when, what we'll talk about, but I know we could just
Yeah.
yabbing on forever. And
Yeah.
I will include all of the links to all of your offerings. Anything else like parting words or anything else you want to name before we
When is this going to air? Do you know?
week? Probably tomorrow.
Oh, well, I'm doing this thing. I just came up with this morning. Maybe a bad idea, but bad ideas are great stories. Um, for anybody who does, I think for the first 3 people who work with me with Clarity by Design this year, I'm going to do a follow up session, like a 30-minute follow up in January, like integration session, Q&A. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It'll be good. So I'm going to announce it on my podcast tomorrow. But if anyone's interested and they're like, oh, I'll wait till next year. No, do it now.
You
do,
know. Right.
do it now because we're entering a 1 year. Step into the 1 year with the clarity. It's like, don't worry. It's not coaching. It's not like here's the 12-step project plan you need. And now I got to, it's not, it feels like I say it on the sales page. It feels like an exhale.
Mm. And who
It's
does?
not.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So if it's speaking to you, I was going to offer that up. I'm happy to do that here for folks. I'm only offering that here and on my podcast. So
What a nice gift. Well, thank you. Cool. Well, thanks for joining us
thank
today.
you.
And yeah, all the best to you. I look forward to just watching you blossom.
Same.
Awesome. All right. Take care.